What is up, everyone? My name is Austin and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's a pleasure to have you guys today. And if you can't tell by what's on my screen, today's topic for the video will be regarding aim and how you can improve your aim, especially for players who have recently made the transition or who are new to PC gaming. As some of you may know, recently I made the switch from PlayStation, which was my home, my console of choice for many years, since PlayStation 1 actually. And one thing that I also made my mind up on was that I wasn't going to bring the controller with me. I figured that in bringing the controller with me, I wasn't really changing anything, and I might as well have stayed on the PlayStation itself. So I also wanted to learn how to play mouse and keyboard, and it's been a very rocky, tough journey for me, but it has been one that I'd do again if I had to. So if you're in my shoes and you're new to mouse and keyboard, or you're just new to PC gaming in general, hopefully this guide will help you. On the screen that you guys are looking at, you'll see a notepad, and this notepad has 4 sections which this video will be broken up into, and each one of these sections will have a specific timestamp which I'll put in the description of this video, so you can skip to each and every one of those timestamps if you need. However, if you are new to PC gaming or the mouse and keyboard in general, I'd hope that you watch this video all the way through so I can help you improve your aim to the fullest of my capability. The first topic I want to go over is your mouse and keyboard, and to be frank with you guys, this isn't something that's going to dramatically increase your gameplay. However, these small changes will help you learn mouse and keyboard itself and can make it more simple for you in the beginning, and these are some things you can revert back if you'd like in the later stages of gaming. However, I found myself really liking these changes, so let's get right into it. And the first one is just actually moving your mouse and keyboard a little higher on your desk to allow your arm more real estate on your desk when playing. And this really helps when you're playing longer hours of Warzone or whatever game of your choosing. And the reason for that is, let's say my keyboard is in the very center of my desk. When placing my fingers on the keyboard itself, half of my arm is off of the desk, and this can cause fatigue, especially with your shoulders drooping and things like that. So just moving your keyboard and your mouse a little higher on your desk allows more of your arm to rest on that desk, and it also creates a better pivot point with your elbow if possible. Now, if your desk is smaller, obviously you can't do this, but if you can make this change, it will help you in the long run. The second change I want to go over is actually the variation in which your keyboard is tilted. Now, when you first have your keyboard on your desk, it's nice and straight, and in most cases, this is how it will be with a lot of players. Now, there's one thing wrong with that, and when you place your fingers on the keyboard, you'll notice your pinky is on the caps lock, and in no game that, at least that I know of, will caps lock be used as a binding for the game. So in making this small change of just tilting your keyboard to the left or to the right, what actually happens is your finger naturally changes to where your pinky is now on a keybind that is more likely to be used. And in my case, I tilt it to the left, which when I place my hand on the keyboard, my fingers are still on the AWD, but my pinky is now on the shift button, which helps me in Warzone and Apex when I'm learning. And I also like to move that to the corner of my desk to allow my mouse to have more real estate when moving. The second topic of this video is your mouse DPI, and with a lot of modern mouses, this will be something that is either a software that you can download for your PC, or it will have a little button on the mouse itself which you can click and change the DPI. And basically what this is the dots per inch on your screen, and what this basically means is how fast your mouse really moves on your screen. So I'm at 400 right now, and if you see me move my mouse, it's not that fast. I have to move my hand a lot for it to kind of rotate around the screen. And for a lot of pro players and people who have been playing PC for a very long time, 400 is kind of their sweet spot. However, since I'm newer to PC and I'm not as used to the lower DPI settings, I like to bring mine up to 800, which is only 400 above that. but the rate at which I have to move my arm or my wrist is a lot less, and I prefer this one to 400 itself. I can also go to 1600, which is actually how I started PC gaming. However, this can be a little disorientating when you're playing the game because it does move quite fast. So moving it to 800 for me works, but you want to really find that sweet spot before you even start gaming. Once you have found your DPI settings for your mouse, the next thing you want to go over is your in-game sensitivity. And the reason for this being second is because your in-game sensitivity will change depending on the game that you're playing and the game engine that they use, and it's not the same throughout every game, so this is always changing, which is why you want to figure this out second. Your DPI settings is something that will never change depending on if you're on Netflix, if you're on the internet, if you're playing a game, if you're recording a video, if you're streaming. This is something that will not change and that will stay constant with you throughout the entirety of your gaming or your PC career. Now, finding your in-game sensitivity can be a little daunting, especially if you've just figured out your mouse DPI. However, I have a simple equation, which is your EDPI, which can help you kind of figure out the baseline range for your in-game sensitivity. And basically what that is taking your DPI for your mouse and multiplying by your in-game sensitivity, which equals your EDPI. And in this case, you want to take a number for your EDPI, divide by your DPI, which will give you your in-game sensitivity. And that'll make more sense when I do it on the calculator. But for a lot of players, the EDPI sweet spot is between 3,000 and 5,000. But in doing my research, I noticed that a lot of pro players as well as a lot of casual players fall within the range of 4,000 to 6,000. So the range that I put on my guide is 4,000 to 5,000, which is going to be that sweet spot between pro players and casual players. So you can figure out that number yourself depending on whatever one you want to pick. So you can pick 4,000 or you can pick 5,000, whatever number you want to divide by. But in my case, I'm going to pick 4,000 and I'm going to divide that by my mouse DPI, which currently is 800. That's the sweet spot for me, and that gives me an in-game sensitivity of 5. So I know the range for my in-game sensitivity is going to be around 5. Now you can increase this, you can decrease this, and kind of figure out what works best for you. However, this gives you a baseline idea of where to start for your in-game sensitivity, which can make it less daunting and get you playing better faster in games and not taking 3 months like I did. The last topic I want to go over is an aim trainer, and in my case I use Aim Labs only because it has a great track record and it's free and on Steam, so it's readily available for you to use. But you can pick whatever one works best for you, but Aim Labs just works great for me, and I really like what they bring to the table in terms of how many types of games they have, as well as how they really break everything down for you. So for example, I'm going to go over this quickly, is it has some subcategories here. So they're all very self-explanatory. Basically, they have your flicking, which is your flicking from character to character, your speed from character to character, your cognition, which is choosing what characters are more readily available, making those split decisions and how fast you make those decisions. But one thing that I really like is that after each game that you play, it breaks everything down and it tells you your strengths with that game that you played as well as your weaknesses. So let's say you're weak on your left side, it'll tell you that you're weaker on your left side when playing those games, and it'll tell you maybe you're slower on your lower right hand corner, or it'll break everything down for you, and it'll make everything very simple, so it makes it easier for you to train and better improve your ability to play, especially with the mouse and keyboard. So the aim trainer, like Aim Labs, is probably the second most important thing that you should take away from this guide. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the conclusion of the video, and if any of the information I have provided you today has helped you in your journey of the mouse and keyboard on PC, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I do post weekly videos for everyone, and if I've missed something that has helped you on your journey, please comment that in the description below as well to help your fellow gamers. And as always, I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, week, whatever it may be, and I hope to see you in the following videos to come. Thank you.